Hey guys, this is the forecast for Sagittarius for the upcoming Taurus season, starting on the 20th of April until the 20th of May. So we have a lot of interesting stuff to talk about and many astrological events. So what we are going to cover today is we have the Sun in Taurus and Mercury moving back to Aries. We have Mars entering Gemini, new moon in Taurus, Venus moving to Aries, Mercury going direct, a full moon in Scorpio Taurus, the North Node moves to Leo and the South Node moves to Aquarius, and Mercury goes back to Taurus again. So you can see a lot of things are happening, a lot of astrological events. So let's find out how it will influence you personally. First, of course, the most important, we have the transit Sun on the 20th entering Taurus. So for you, this will be in your 6th house. And during this whole period, the Sun will transit there. So 6th house is one of the houses which are, related with more serious stuff. They're related with it's related with our obligations and responsibilities in general. So probably during this next 1 month, it's more going to be about your work and what you have to do, and not so much about entertainment and having fun. So if you want to take the best out of this transit, you should concentrate on your work. Take care of all of your responsibilities. Just finish the things that you have started and use it for something practical, to do something that will help you to improve your work environment or working processes. And for people who would like to start new projects in their work, that's a wonderful transit, or who would like to find a new job as well. 6th house is also related with our health, and we shouldn't forget that. So that would be a great time to concentrate on your health, start a new regime, or find a new kind of therapy or a therapist, or generally try to improve your daily routines in order to improve your health. That's a wonderful thing to do during the transiting Sun is in your 6th house. And you may notice that actually your work is more pleasant and you feel more joy, and it's really fulfilling you to take care of your work and just to finish the things that you have started. So on the same day, on the 20th of April, we have the transit Mercury, which is retrograde, moving back to Aries and your 5th house. So the transit Mercury requires from us to be careful with information, with appointments, with communication with others. So in your case, it's mostly affecting the area of romantic relationships with others, the area of creativity, of some kind of art activities. So try to be more careful with that. If you, for example, would like to invite someone on a date, that's probably not the best time, especially if it's a first date, because starting new things on Mercury retrograde is generally not a very positive thing. Instead, you may, for example, restart an old relationship. So if you have been dating with someone, now you can connect with him, or he might contact you. And going on another date or restarting your communication is actually something positive, while Mercury is retrograde in your 5th house. Also starting something totally new, which is like a creative activity for artists, for people working in the show business, that's not positive as well. If you have started that project before, now you can restart it. Or if you had a hobby that you have left in the past, you have forgotten about, you didn't have time for that, now Mercury retrograde can help you to think about that, to restart that, to find a new way to practice that. So everything old related with romantics, with creativity, with hobbies is beneficial right now. So next we have on the 21st of April the transit Mars entering Gemini. So here is Mars, it will enter Gemini and your 7th house. So the transits of Mars last around 2 months. Mars will stay in your 7th house, and they are related with lots of energy, with lots of physical efforts that you may put in order to achieve something, or you can be really motivated and concentrated on something. So in your horoscope, it affects the area of relationships and partnerships. So for example, if you want to find a partner for your business, now is a great time to put a lot of efforts to find that person on your own, to contact with that person, to offer him your partnership, or some kind of mutual project to work on. But remember that with Mars, you are the initiative person. You need to find that person, to offer him the project, or something that you can cooperate about. Of course, it can be about romantic relationships as well, but with Mars there is always the chance to be so much focused that sometimes you can cross the line. So you can insist too much on something. So try to be aware of that, and try to find a way to be softer if possible, because when Mars is in Gemini, actually this is the sign of communication, this is the sign of our speech, and Mars is not a planet which is well known for being compromising or very soft. So it's very possible that you may have some kind of conflicts with others, that there might be some kind of problematic situations that you need to solve. So in general, it's possible that you might be very concentrated on the area of relationships, but at the same time there is a chance for some kind of conflicts or situations that need to be solved. Mars is at the same time the planet of passion, so you might find yourself really attracted of someone. So that can be another positive influence of Mars transiting your 7th house. And next we have a new moon in Taurus on the 26th of April. So the new moon will fall again in your 6th house. And we know that the new moons are great to start something totally new, to put the beginning of something new. And we already mentioned the area of 6th house, so you can start something related with this area of your life. So it can be starting a new job. That's a wonderful lunation for those who have been unemployed, who are searching for a new job, or want to move to another position, to a different place to work. So that new moon can help you to find this new opportunity to start something that can grow in the future. Also, so as we said, work projects, new work, new contacts with business associates, and of course, as we said, something related with your health. So starting a new health regime, starting a new diet, something like a therapy that can improve your health. All kinds of these activities actually can grow, but as usual, you should wait around 2 days after the new moon, when the moon will become visible, and after that you have a green light for these new projects. And if you have planned starting something new in your work, just try to use the lunation, because it can help you to grow your project. So next, on the 28th of April, we have Venus moving to Aries. So Venus will be in your 5th house, will transit your 5th house. And that's a wonderful transit, wonderful for romantic relationships, for hobbies, especially something related with art, something more creative, something related with beauty. This is a great transit that can help you to be, more productive in this area, to have more success, to create something beautiful, because 5th house is also the house of creativity. And we should say something really important, that Venus was retrograde in Aries during the past 1 month and a half approximately, and of course, it was again in your fifth house. So it's very possible that you might have been through some kind of problems, difficulties in terms of romantic relationships or something related with creativity and art. So that's very possible that things haven't been very fluent for you. So now that Venus will move through the same sign and house, you may have the opportunity to fix that situation or to correct what hasn't been working for you. And even more positive is after the 3rd of May, when we have also Mercury going direct, because Mercury is in Aries and your 5th house as well. And this is an interesting situation because for during the past 1 month and a half, we had both Venus and Mercury retrograde in the same sign, so Aries and your 5th house in the horoscope. So it's very possible that you might have faced with some kind of challenges in romantic relationships, in your love life, and with some kind of hobbies or creative projects. So now that we have both of these planets moving through the same sign and house, but this time they are direct, you may have the opportunity to improve very much the situation, to find the solutions, to, generally to be more successful in this area. So after the 3rd of May, you have a green light for starting new projects related with something creative, like artistic projects, and of course romantic relationships. And generally this area of your life should improve very much after that. So next, on the 10th of May, we have a full moon in Scorpio and Taurus. So the sun will be in Taurus in your 6th house, and the moon will be in your in Scorpio in your 12th house. So as usual, the full moons provides us the opportunity to achieve something, to materialize something in these areas of our life. So this can be a great time to achieve or to have a culmination in your work or some kind of work project that you have started. Now you may see the visible results. Now you might be able to get a clearer idea about the situation. It can be about your work in general or about a concrete work project. At the same time, this is the lunation, the full moon, activates two houses which are opposing each other. So there can be some kind of conflict, like two different impulses that are pulling you in the opposite directions, and you need to find the balance. So in these situations, one of these polarities is one of these impulses is related with your work, with your responsibilities and obligations, and the other might be related with the desire to take a rest, to focus more on something like spirituality, or just things that you do privately on your own. And the sun represents our conscious mind, our focus. So with the sun in 6th house, it suggests that consciously you might be really concentrated on your work, on your responsibilities. You may really try to give the best that you can there. But at the same time, the moon represents the unconscious patterns and beliefs. So unconsciously you might be willing to spend some time alone, to have a rest, and just leave all of the responsibilities that you have. And your task is to find the balance between these two areas and to become aware of that model of behavior, and to try to use it and to control it in your for your best. And of course, as we said, it can be also related with your health, with your health regime. You might realize what you need to change here, what's the real situation, what you consciously want, and what unconsciously, is pulling you. So yeah, that's the most important about this lunation for you. And next we have something really important related with our karma. and that happens on the 9th of May. So we have the North Node entering Leo and your 9th house, and the opposite node, the South Node, enters Aquarius and your 3rd house. The nodes are moving retrograde, and that's why they are crossing from 10th to 9th and from 4th to 3rd house in your horoscope. And this transit will last around a year and a half, and that's why it has a very significant impact for all of us. In your case, so the North Node has influence very similar to Jupiter, so it expands things, it brings new opportunities, and there is more luck and growth in that area of our life. So you need to be concentrated there. You need to try, to expand this area and to achieve success there. So that's related mostly with your, for example, one of the opportunities is high education. So, for example, if you would like to start a new education, or in general to improve to your knowledge about different topics, especially something which is more philosophical, something which is more general, that's a great transit. 9th house is also related with our long-term goals, with our desires and expectations for the future. So now you can set your goals for the future. You may really want to look ahead and find out what you would like to achieve in the long term. So let's say in 5 or even 10 years, how you see yourself, what's your perspective about your life in general. So another thing you can concentrate on is traveling abroad, going to different places, getting in touch with different cultures, and trying to expand your worldview. During this 1 year and a half, you may notice that your worldview will change very much. So at the same time, the South Node has a very similar influence to Saturn, so it shows the area where we need to separate with something, that we need to be not so concentrated on. And 3rd house is related with practical things that you do right now. These are the small steps that you take. This is the really the everyday life, not the future, but the everyday life. So the South Node transiting 3rd house suggests that you shouldn't be so focused on that. You shouldn't be so worried about small details about your daily activities and the little things in life. And also, if you want to learn something, as we said, it shouldn't be so practical, because practical things are more related with 3rd house. Instead, it would be better if it's more philosophical, it's more general, not so concrete like 3rd house. So try to concentrate more on 9th house, because that's where the positives for you are. And finally, on the 16th of May, we have the transit Mercury entering Taurus and your 6th house. So Mercury in 6th house, is a very positive transit, because it's the traditional ruler of this house. So it brings some opportunities related with this house and improvement there. So this is a great transit for signing new contracts in your work, for having new ideas about your work process, how to improve your business, or receiving an important information related with your work, being more organized in your work, being more detail oriented. At the same time, that's a great transit for business trips, for all kind of things that are related with your work and with communication and information. So this can be actually a very productive time for you. And in general, we should say that this Taurus season for you is mostly about your work. So try to concentrate on responsibilities, on things that you need to take care of, because this can be a very productive time for you. So these were the most important indications. Thank you very much for watching, and I will wait for you next month again.